Welcome back on this Wednesday, and the Evansville Christmas on North Main Parade will return this weekend after a 5-year hiatus.
Joining us this morning, Ted O'Connell, Director of Development for Jacobsville, to tell us about what this year's festivities have in store. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about this Christmas parade. It's right near our station here. A little bit about the 5-year break and kind of when the last parade was and what it's been like trying to get this back going this year.
Oh yeah, so last year we had it was back in 2019, and obviously the first year was because of COVID, and then I believe the following year it was scheduled the same day as the 420 main building was demolished. So that was a lot of so like a little planning there, and then it's a completely volunteer-led initiative, and the volunteers were having issues getting floats and volunteers back involved in the parade after a couple-year hiatus and in COVID, and but now we're back. We got a full force. They hired me full time to help make sure that this year's a success. Yeah. And this was one of the top priorities, was to bring this back.
And I imagine with the pandemic, a lot of those small businesses that utilize that roadway there may have had a tougher than normal time for a couple years too.
Definitely.
So you may not have had that sponsorship, but they've revitalized North Main Street a lot in the past maybe decade. But you really get to see it firsthand. Those shops, those restaurants down there, they really benefit from this event.
Definitely. I mean, Jacob's Pub just opened on Monday. Whenever I was talking to the owner, one of the main reasons why he wanted to pull the trigger on buying that old DeLegge's building was because the Christmas parade was coming back. So this is phenomenal for economic development for all those businesses down North Main.
Absolutely. How many volunteers can we expect in this year? Organizations? I mean, who could we expect to see in this year's parade?
Yeah, so we have a lot more floats than what we normally had in the past. And we're looking at over 100 entries in the parade. We're just shy of 100 volunteers. We're still getting more volunteers and floats enter the parade. Even this morning, I had a couple send me applications. So we're still gathering more, but we exceeded our expectations going into this.
And my question is for this benefits the children out there. Is this a candy parade?
Yes, yeah, we are going to be giving out candy in the parade. If you are in the parade itself, you're not allowed to throw candy from your float. No. But if you have walkers, buckets of candy, you can go and give the kids some candy.
So give us the breakdown of where this parade goes, where people should, at least I know in my family, we had to go get a seat early.
Yeah.
Where should people kind of situate themselves, and where will the parade start and finish?
Yeah, so the parade starts on the corner of the Lloyd and North Main Street, and it runs all the way up to Garvin Park and Bossy Field. Where our judges and the announcers are going to be, if you really want to hear the floats being announced, that happens on the corner of Franklin and North Main.
And if we haven't mentioned it, the parade is this Sunday at 2:30.
Yes.
But there's events that start at 12:30. Tell us about that.
Yeah, that's Santa's Workshop. So that's an opportunity for you to take your kids there, do some crafts, some reindeer games, get your picture with Mr. and Mrs. Claus before the parade starts. And that'll be at Hope City Church, which is at 12:30.
Now, I think you jinxed yourself the last time you had this parade. That's footage that maybe you covered
maybe
this
I
event
covered,
as a reporter.
Yeah.
You had the Grinch there, so maybe that was what did you in.
Yeah, we're going to have the Grinch in this parade, too.
And but Santa will be there, too.
Santa will be there, yes. And then we also have Krampus that's going to be in this parade, so that's going to be something a little bit different. Nick Knackery came in there and going to put some Krampus costumes.
But the final float is Santa still, right?
Final float is Santa, yeah.
That is exciting. And I know you had mentioned the economic side, but what does this parade do for the Jacobsville neighborhood? And, for folks in the area that, because I know this is one of the only parades in Evansville.
Yeah, it is.
This time.
It's the only parade.
Yeah, the only one, yes.
Well, Fall Festival has theirs, but the only Christmas parade, right?
Yes.
And it's great for the neighbors. We actually have a neighborhood association meeting tonight, and a lot of them are volunteering in the parade as well. And I'm talking to a lot of the neighbors. They want to bring their kids out that haven't seen a parade before and just walk out their front door, and there's one right there.
And before we get to the information on the parade itself, what type of tasks are those volunteers asked to do when they go out there?
Yeah, it's everything from, securing barricades, make sure nobody breaks into the parade, to holding banners for sponsors and making sure the floats are in the right places and organizing the entry system for the parade. Those are going to be the main things that we need volunteers for.
I can't believe you have more than 100 different floats and organizations. That's going to be a big deal. this Sunday. And I think that's amazing that you were able to now put this on, and hopefully it becomes another annual thing where we're doing it every year.
It's only going to get easier from here on out.
Hey,
so.
well, we got it kick-started, and it's going to be bigger and better. Tell us a little bit about, if you can give the details before we wrap up here, when and where and what time everything is taking place.
Yeah, so it starts at 12:30 at Hope City Church, and that'll be the Santa's Workshop. Then directly after that, you can go right out of Santa's Workshop, go on to North Main and watch the parade. That starts at 2:30.
Now, I don't know if you're a longtime resident of Evansville, but there are three things that you can assure folks. The Fall Festival Parade is always something that folks get out there ahead of time for.
Oh, yeah.
The Demo Derby at the Vanderbilt County Fair, they camp out like at 8 a.m. to get their seats. And I imagine your North Main Street Parade is kind of the same thing. You need to get there a little early, get that lawn chair down.
Yeah, get that lawn chair down on North Main, and make sure you get good parking. We got a lot of street parking. We got a couple city lots in there, but we're going to be expecting that parking is going to be a bit of an issue, so get there early.
Wonderful. Ted O'Connell, thank you so much for being here today. And we're
Thanks for having me.
hoping for a very festive weekend. We'll see. I mean, if it feels like it does today, Griffin, it'll be perfect for the Christmas parade this weekend.